Okay, so let's dive in. We have a huge stack of sources today, and they all point to this really messy final financial collapse of the Brown family from sister wives.
That's right. And for this deep dive, we're really focusing on, the mystery at the very end. The extreme measures they allegedly took when Coyote Pass, their biggest asset, was finally sold.
And what we found, which has just sent fans reeling, is this incredible drama that got layered right on top of the real estate deal.
Yeah.
The demand for an NDA,
Yeah.
a non-disclosure agreement.
At the finish line, right when they were signing off on a $1.5 million sale.
I mean, if we just step back for a second, this is more than just gossip. It's like a perfect case study.
Oh, absolutely. It's about how contracts, these NDAs, are allegedly used as leverage to just enforce silence, even on your own family when there's that much money on the table.
Which brings us to the central question from all these sources, and it's a big one. The price of land is public record. You can go to the county website right now and look it up. So why would this very public sale need a secret confidentiality agreement? What were they trying to bury?
Well, that's the tell, isn't it? The NDA wasn't about the sale itself. It was about controlling the story, a story that covers, decades of shared finances, emotional history, and alleged mismanagement.
So let's get right into the setting.
Mhm.
Coyote Pass. They bought it for $820,000 back in 2018.
Right.
It finally sells in April 2025 for $1.5 million. This was supposed to be it, the clean break.
The final financial severance so everyone could just move on. But that's not what happened. Meri Brown, the first wife, tells a really startling story about why it all stalled.
Yeah, this comes from a preview clip, and it's explosive. She's trying to get her side of the sale done, but she says Kody was blaming the whole thing on me.
Classic Kody, trying to paint her as the obstacle.
Again, and then Meri just drops the bombshell. She says, and this is the quote, "They were trying to get me to sign a confidentiality agreement, which I was not willing to agree to."
And her question just cuts right through all of it.
Why are you trying to silence me?
You can just feel the pressure she was under in these sources. She was so distraught. An off-camera director even asks her, would signing that have stopped you from speaking out if they'd sold the property out from under you?
And her reaction is just, it's profound. The moment she realized how deep the betrayal went, she just said, "It breaks my heart that it has come to this. I didn't think that these people would try and do this to me."
Because the stakes were huge. And it was all financial pressure. Her final 25% profit share from that land sale.
Money she was 100% legally entitled to.
Was allegedly being withheld. Her own money was being held hostage for her silence.
That's a horrible ultimatum.
Yeah.
Sell your voice to get your own money back. But, to understand why Kody needed that silence so badly, you just have to look at his own words. His own admissions are pretty revealing.
This part is fascinating. It's from his confessional. He basically reveals that the NDA was the legal version of the polygamous husband he always wanted to be.
What do you mean?
He literally complained that he was a terrible polygamist because I couldn't say, just sit down and shut up.
Wow.
I couldn't ever just do that with these wives and just manage it. He said it out loud.
So if his whole goal was just to force them to sit down and shut up, what does that say about the secrets he was trying to bury? Was this just about control, or was he worried about legal action?
I think it was both. And this desire for control, it showed up in his actions. He openly admitted he thought about a backdoor deal almost with Janelle to sell it out from under these other two.
Meaning Meri and Robyn.
Exactly. Just to get control of the process and get the cash flowing faster.
And that backdoor deal idea connects perfectly to the absolute chaos that defined their finances from the start.
Oh, absolutely. You need that historical context to get why the NDA was so important to them. The sources remind us the family finances were always a mess. Multiple bankruptcies.
Right. And early on, the family fund had to absorb Robyn's debt, didn't it? Yeah. Something like $32,000 in credit card payoffs when she joined.
Yep. And that pattern just continued. Kody was arguing that the original 3 wives should keep paying into the family fund for his younger kids.
What fans call Robyn's tenders.
Right. Even though the OG wives were funding their own kids' major expenses, like Meri paid for Leon's college, Christine paid for Isabel's surgery.
The tension over this stuff was so bad that Meri had to get her accountant involved.
Can you imagine? She had to meet with Kody and Robyn, with her accountant, to literally prove to them she wasn't hiding family money.
Wait, hold on. She had to hire a professional to defend her own spending to them. That just screams that the relationship was totally antagonistic and all about money.
Precisely. And that's why the NDA wasn't about the sale price. with a history of that much distrust and, the allegations about Robyn spending like a reported $60,000 on dolls.
60,000.
The NDA was clearly designed to shut down any conversation about where the money really went over the years. I mean, a $60,000 doll collection, that alone is probably worth trying to keep quiet.
It's definitely a shocking motive.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pivot to Robyn's role in this, because she tried to spin a very, very different story.
Oh, she did. She tried to paint herself as the hero. She said she was the big fat rock in the way to make sure the sale was perfectly fair.
She even claimed she stood up to Kody, asking him, "Who are you?" Like she was Meri's protector.
But if you look at the facts, especially the timeline in these sources, that hero narrative just completely falls apart.
It really suggests something more like a coordinated attack.
That's the key. First, Meri always uses the plural they. She says they were pressuring her, Kody and Robyn.
Okay.
And second, the timeline is incredibly suspicious. Meri and Janelle sign off on everything in January. But Robyn waits. She doesn't sign the final sale documents until March.
A 2-month delay.
A 2-month delay that lines up perfectly with the exact time Meri was being pressured to sign that NDA.
So the implication is that Robyn wasn't the hero. She was using her signature as leverage.
Exactly. A good cop bad cop routine. She holds up the sale, which everyone needs, to force Meri's hand.
And the whole strategy worked because Janelle was in such a tough spot.
Desperate. Janelle was desperate to close the sale. She was worried they'd lose the buyer, lose the money, lose her freedom.
So she was pushing Meri.
Yeah, the sources say she was pushing Meri to comply completely or risk Kody trying to force the sale legally. It shows how Kody used Janelle's real panic to completely isolate Meri.
Which just brings it all back to Meri's final thought on it all. She wasn't just upset about a contract.
No, she was mourning the loss of the relationship.
She asked, was there not any parts of us that were human? It's this heartbreaking moment where she realizes it all became transactional. It was just about silencing her.
So, if we zoom out a bit, this whole NDA thing with the Browns, it isn't unique to them. This is like an industry standard in reality TV. It's all about control.
Absolutely. The production companies need NDAs to protect their storylines, sure, but also their reputation, their whole business model.
And we're seeing a huge pushback against this right now. You have Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives leading this very public fight to free reality stars from NDAs that stop them from reporting unlawful acts in the workplace.
Right, things like mistreatment or other misconduct. It's clear the NDA is often just a tool to protect the network.
We even saw it happen with the Brown kids. Christine's child, Gwendolyn, said she was sort of tricked into signing a release she thought was for one event, but it actually covered the whole season.
Wow. It just shows how common these contractual traps are for everyone involved.
And that's why this Brown family situation is so insightful. Kody and Robyn basically took a common industry tool, the NDA, and tried to weaponize it to cover up their own personal and financial secrets.
And Meri's refusal to sign that initial agreement, even with all that money on the line, that was her ultimate act of defiance.
It really was a defining moment of freedom. She refused to sell her voice for her own money.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? The whole fight over this NDA, it confirms that for Kody and Robyn, control and silence were the ultimate currencies. Way more important than family or love at the end.
Yeah. The tragic takeaway is that the family's final act wasn't about finding peace. It was a desperate, coordinated power play to legally gag a former family member about their shared financial past.
So here's the final thought for you to chew on. With this huge public fight over NDAs and reality TV happening right now, what revelations do you think Meri, Janelle, or Christine are still holding back? What secrets are out there that even a final settlement couldn't buy silence on? That's something to mull over as you process this deep dive.